boys and girls. This is OCCW, and this is the Royal Ramble with Jonathan Mellis and our OCCW Tag Team Champions of the World. Wait, where's your belts?
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Royal Ramble, Orange County Championship Wrestling's flagship station, flagship show here on the Free Admission Channel. To my left, the unclad with his belt and as well as conspicuously naked of his belt, the team of Thunder and Lightning, B.A. Marcus Frey, and Azrael here. You guys want to tell me where those belts were? He didn't talk you into a card game again, did he?
No. See, this is a stance of solidarity. This is a stance of the fact that every individual that has something to say about tag team wrestling not existing in Orange County.
Oh, he's gonna go right to it.
If you really want to, if you really want to stand on that point, then go ahead. Bring your ass to the next show. Bring a tag team partner. You could be anybody. You could be Grimace. Make sure you bring the Hamburglar. If you want to, I don't care who you are. Bring somebody with you.
Don't count on
and challenge us for the titles. That's when you'll see them. If that's when you want to see the titles, that's when you'll see them.
I just want to apologize for starting the show late tonight. I was in line at the local Starbucks, and that took a long time to get my coffee drink.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, and thank you for tuning in. I want to wish my good friend Othello a happy recovery. We hear he's back at home, and he is slowly improving, so much love to the big man. Lots going on in the world of wrestling today. Yesterday and all over the weekend. Joey, I know you were big fans of the World Wrestling Entertainment, and I wanted to talk, but more importantly, earlier in the, what's that?
It's just VA. He's a little sour right now.
Yeah.
The hug, brother. I mean, your Raiders won. Come on, be happy.
Well, okay, yeah.
My quarterback got knocked the fuck out.
Well, the fact that you claimed him as your quarterback is a part of the problem in the first place.
You know what? Let me tell you something.
Yeah, don't even.
Let's. I want to get on the topic. Yes, I want to get on the topic of. They were up by 17 points. They were up 17-0, and they went down 21 to. Say, John Gruden. I swear to God, John Gruden.
Come on, you share a name with the guy.
Yeah.
Show him some love.
The only thing worse than John Gruden is Derek Carr. Okay, that's it. I own a car.
I look at it like this:
sure.
If you don't keep a football game entertaining, what's the point in watching it?
Winning.
Keep the people involved.
Nothing's better than yelling at people, right, for like 3 quarters, going, "Hey, your team sucks," and then having them yell at you the rest of the game until the very end. That's
why
not
I can't
fair.
wait for XFL.
Okay.
Yes. The Wildcats.
AEW, All Elite Wrestling debuted its weekly television show this week, last Wednesday Night Dynamite, which popped to a 1.7 million viewership. Is that right? 1.7 or 1.9? 1.8. Now, you know what? I got to tell you, I was very skeptical. I looked at this with a jaundiced eye. I wanted not to like it, frankly. You know, I want it to be right.
What's a jaundiced eye?
It's
like all yellow. Like
you never heard the term jaundiced?
It's another form.
You should see a damn doctor.
It's like pink eye, but not quite.
No, it just means that you are jaded.
Okay.
With a jaded point of view.
I guess.
I wanted to just tear it apart. I wanted to say, oh my God. But honestly, as I sat there, I was transported back to 1996. Right? I felt like I was watching the first episode of Nitro again, only with guys who could like actually wrestle.
Did you see Luchasaurus? Luchasaurus is a stallion.
Yeah,
and his tag team partner Jungle Boy is not too shabby.
I've seen both of them in person. They're from around here. I've seen Jungle Boy. I've seen Luchasaurus up close. And Scorpio Sky and Kazarian was there. I remember that one.
What do they call it? Undercard? I guess you could call. Do they still call it an undercard?
You can call it undercard. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So the matches were quick and they were exciting, and the match with I keep forgetting the big girl's name. Nyla.
No, fake Nia Jax.
Rose, I think. You're talking about Nyla Rose.
Transgender girl,
Nia Jax is WWE.
Yeah,
Nyla Rose is AEW.
Right. She's wrestling the little Asian girl that wrestled Kenny Omega when she was 9.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And she really carried that match against Kenny Omega, by the way.
Yes, I agree. But that was fantastic, and to watch it go back and forth, it was exciting. Frankly,
they started on a high note and they stayed there.
Yeah, except until the Young Bucks match with that. I'm sorry.
Well,
maybe I'm just not a fan of that style of wrestling. Obviously, they're very good wrestlers.
It's spot wrestling.
But
It's what's in nowadays.
It was if that was the one match to hang your hat on, like if you're flipping through the channels, AEW, I heard there's new wrestling on, and you saw that, you'd be like, this is some fake ass shit, right?
Yeah,
and
I don't know how many super kicks a man could throw at another individual.
How many times you got to have like permanent bruising on your ass from slapping.
But I mean, if you want to see a shit ton of super kicks, watch Seth Rollins throw at least 50 of them at Bray Wyatt.
We're gonna get to that. But overall, I'm gonna say AEW was an exciting show.
I liked it. What are you talking about?
It was an exciting show.
AEW was exciting.
Showed a lot of promise, and I'm looking forward to the next and the next and the next.
Like they had Jack Swagger run in the main event, and they were really pushing the MMA undefeated, not from the world of pro wrestling, by God, the MMA undefeated Jack Hager,
right? Yeah, because I think he has two fights under his belt. Congratulations. Bobby Lashley was also undefeated after his second fight. He got his ass whooped in his fourth fight, but he was, Batista's an undefeated fighter in mixed martial arts as well.
It wasn't Bobby Lashley undefeated? Oh, no.
He was. He lost one fight. Yeah, he lost.
I remember against that journeyman guy who just outlasted him. That was a good fight.
CM Punk.
He's the most defeated professional wrestler.
So overall, would you say the appearance of Jon Moxley, when he came in and he dragged homeboy to the back, was it? And
no DQ, even though there's people running in on the match left, right, and center, but no DQ.
Yeah, it's so weird
AEW.
that a match that has no DQ actually stayed a no DQ match.
That's
one of the differences between the two.
We'll get to it, brother.
You know what? And there's some botches, mainly in the main event match, what actually made it more appealing to me was the botches with the cameramen and they kept catching themselves in mirrors and stuff like that. I actually like that because
it's production value where it's like you can tell that it's high budget, high end. It's low end, high budget.
Yeah,
that's what we'll say. Low end, high budget.
It gave the whole thing character.
Right.
It made me really glad that AEW exists. I mean, there are certain things I'd like to see different about it, but that's the same sense for anything.
And I mean, it was the first episode, so I mean, for us to ask for the moon and still come back with a couple of stars, I think that it did pretty well.
I was absolutely, and I will be watching that again. And I promise you, I will not. I have like 86 episodes of Raw on my DVR, and I haven't watched a single one.
Don't waste your time.
I probably won't.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna watch anything, what I enjoyed the most about last Wednesday was being able to flip back and forth between that and NXT, because I felt like NXT also still put on some great matches that night, and so it was literally like the Monday Night Wars all over again, where it's like, oh well, this is going to commercial, let me flip over, and then of course they hook you in because at certain matches when they go to commercial, they don't truly go to commercial. Yeah, so and both of them did it, and it was a lot of fun to watch it back and forth.
Your opinion on NXT?
I mean, Matt Riddle in the first match, that was one of the best matches that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, Matt Riddle, as much as I don't like the character's boring.
Him and Adam Cole tore it
but that was
down.
really one of the best matches I've ever seen. He's like the future of wrestling is Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
The way that he does it is the way that I see it being into the future.
Really?
Yep.
Like, he looks like an MMA fighter. All this stuff is very, very believable, but also very, very spectacular. With the German suplex, high angle, they tried to kill each other. They hit everything that you could imagine being hit, and that was match one. And then Finn Balor comes out because Finn Balor is going to be on NXT. So you're going to see, probably Finn Balor versus Adam Cole. I think other people that don't fit under the WWE look or banner or whatever, guys that they haven't had on TV for a long time. Aleister Black is one of those people. So they're going to be probably setting Ricochet is another one that's going to benefit probably from being back on NXT, as it's going to be like one of the major shows.
Yeah.
So yes, AEW beat NXT in the ratings this week, but they didn't beat Raw or SmackDown. So they're no.
Okay.
and I give this
different things.
Friday Night SmackDown production level, it was great. I love the production, the cameras, everything about it was awesome.
Yeah, let's see if they keep Pyro up for more than just 1 week.
I hope so. That's what I'm hoping.
We're going to talk about Raw and SmackDown with our guests in a little bit, but this brings us to this weekend and Hell in the Cell.
Sorry.
All right, now Hell in the Cell.
Hello.
For some reason, the cell was red.
It was last year. It's been a couple times in a row.
Okay.
Yeah, that's their theme now because it's hell. So I guess
And
they
everything
figured-
else was red too. The lighting.
The lighting was
Nah,
right for
just
the main event.
The main event.
Kind of like the sage like lighting theme was red, and then they went to it being dark with red lights, like a horror movie for the main event, making it hard for the live crowd to see what was going on for the main event. I think that has a lot to do with the chanting for the refund, because the live crowd probably didn't see most of the main event. Probably confusing to them what was going on, so they didn't really have an idea of what story was being told because they don't have the commentary or anything. So to them, yeah, it just looks like a DQ had happened.
Right. Okay. And
Well, let me describe what you guys missed. You missed multiple super kicks, multiple curb stomps, chairs being thrown everywhere, Seth Rollins literally doing his best impression of Triple H with a sledgehammer and the pedigree, and still remaining the champion off of a disqualification.
Ref stoppage, not disqualification.
A ref stoppage.
The referee
due
didn't
to-
want to see a man die
But
in this
I-
thing
oh.
because he thinks Bray Wyatt's
Oh,
a man.
a referee not wanting to see a man die in a hell in a
it's
cell.
sensitive times that we live in now. BA.
Interesting.
As you well
okay,
know.
so we can
We
rewind
can't
the
just have
tape.
a
It wasn't
guy.
sensitive times when you got
I
to
mean,
watch Mick Foley
yes.
fall off the cage,
They were
not
waiting-
once,
yeah.
but twice.
He went
Earl
through.
Hebner did not attempt
He
to
had a
stop
tooth.
that match once.
well, what about when your hero Shawn Michaels went off the side through like
Your
8
hero.
different tables?
And they had him just keep on going.
Yeah.
No, they didn't care about. But they felt they were at war against WCW, and that justifies
Wars
all
have
things
casualties.
right now. Yeah,
Wars have
they were
casualties.
willing to let Mick Foley die in the ring if necessary.
But yet, Bray Wyatt can take a sledgehammer shot, even though he brought out his giant hammer and he hit Seth Rollins with it. So,
I think he just in the stomach.
oh, okay. So
hit him
not
over
to
the
the
head.
head. That's
Yeah.
that's taking it to another level. To me, the entire card was somewhat of a letdown for me. I feel like a lot of the night was predictable. I just. Sorry, I got to stop the show right now. Want to say what's up to my big homie, Big Donald, Big O. What's going on?
Hey,
I'm glad to see that you're at home. I hope you're feeling better. I tell you this every week. If you need anything, holla at your boy. You know,
That would be me.
down for you. You know I'm down for you.
It's
you know,
me. It's me.
No, don't listen to that.
It's me.
You already know what it is.
Don't listen to him.
Franchise players all day. Let's do it.
He hates the Ravens.
Man, get the hell
So
out of
do I.
here. I mean, who doesn't?
Are you guys' knee pads worn out already? Jesus.
No, you want to loan us yours?
Shit.
No, those aren't pads. That's just fat.
So what he's saying for the folks who are not in on it, Donald Sylvester is also known as more commonly the Othello, and we see that he's watching, and we love you, man, and come in. I know we can't get you in the ring right away, but we can get you maybe in the podcast booth sooner than later.
Anywhere in the building would be good.
Yes.
Just to stop by and just to say what's up and see and make sure you're all right. That'd be nice.
That is if you haven't turned off the TV yet.
Yeah, well, if you're watching, you would turn it off if you were watching Hell in the Cell.
So what did you think of some of the other matches on Hell in the Cell?
Well, first, the main event match that he hates, like it's a monster movie.
Yeah.
It's like Jamie Lee Curtis is whatever the lady at the lake or where it's the teenagers, and they're shooting the big guy, and they're shooting the big guy, and the big guy just keeps coming, and they're hitting him with everything, but he gets up from everything, and he just keeps moving forward, and the referee is like, oh my God, it's a human being. Quit hitting the human being. It's gonna die. So he rings the bell on it. No more, Seth. No more, you crazy moron. And then they stop beating on him, and then he sits up, proving him wrong because he's some kind of hideous freak, and then he makes the world's heavyweight champion pour blood all over the set.
Which is awesome.
Like I don't think he looked weak at the end of it. He was like some kind of monster creature. Like anybody watching the show, what do you want to be different about it? What if he wins the belt? Then what do you do? Somebody's then got to challenge the freak for the belt, and I don't want anybody going to chase after the bad guy. They should be running away from the bad guy.
Interesting point. That's a very interesting point. I like that. What
did you want to be
think of that?
different?
That makes a little
I
sense
feel
to
like
me.
I feel like that makes a little sense, but to me, Seth Rollins is not the psychopath that should have been having the match stopped. I feel like the psychopath should have been the fiend that just would not stop. And the viewpoint of him not caring about a title but just wanting to inflict pain would have been a better way to go. That would have been a standpoint where I think the fans would have been like, damn, he didn't win the title, but did you see what he did to him?
Yeah, I don't think that character should care about the belt whatsoever. He should just keep beating on that. The referee's like, "Are you gonna pin him? You're gonna do anything?" And he's like, "No, I'm not gonna pin him." Gets up, hits him with something else, whatever, and he just keeps going and going until the referee finally has to ring the bell, realizing that no decision is gonna be rendered until this guy that they put a lot of money into promoting him is gonna die in the ring. He doesn't want to let that happen. They ring the bell or whatever. It's a no contest. I'm sorry to tell him to sell, but we can't allow people to die. And I think most people would be accepting of that.
Right.
But I understand the live crowd chanting for refund because they didn't get to see any of this.
Where did it all take place?
It was in the
dark.
arena.
They have the lights off with the red lighting, and I know in person that that's hard to see.
Yeah.
Like on TV, you can see it a little bit better. Even on TV, it was dark. It was like watching
even
a
with a
DC
silver
movie
cage
instead of a
and
Marvel
a red
movie.
lighting, it still would have been hard to see. They literally made it to where the human eye could not pierce through the amount of red
It's like
that was surrounding the action.
all these people are pissed off because the character that they like didn't win the heavyweight championship, which means you care about the character,
but
which
I
means
feel like-
mission accomplished.
I
for
feel like
WWE.
the fans that are pissed about that were the fans that were watching at home. The fans that were watching live were pissed not only because their favorite character didn't win, but also because of the fact that they made it was like, okay, did you ever see Sin Cara wrestle?
Yes.
When he first started and the lights went like this golden color?
Yeah.
You could barely see the match if you were there live in the arena.
Yeah, it was the same with Goldust.
Exactly. When they did that and the fans complained about it. Well, this is not the first time that they've done something like this and the fans have complained.
Well,
so now you're saying we don't care that you guys at live can't really see.
So they gave him a raw deal, the people in the arena.
It's
That's
great
always
for
a
the
bad-
people watching on TV, which is like the much larger
Sure.
audience. There's 1.5 million people watching that versus the 10, 15,000 people that are in there in person. It's like I haven't heard a live crowd turn on anything so bad as this, and I think it has a lot to do with that. The fact that they didn't see it, it's hard to understand what story is being told when you can't see what's going on.
And you know what? You can't just turn your back on the only 10 or 15,000 as opposed to the several 100,000 that are watching.
Right, because
they're gonna get a pay-per-view one day too. You know,
Exactly.
those tens of thousands of people are gonna want to order a pay-per-view, and not now.
Exactly. Well, and not only that, at the end of the day, when you have an entire crowd chanting AEW, come on, your entire crowd that's sitting. When was the last time that you could go back in the Monday Night Wars and see a WWF crowd chant WCW?
Right,
it doesn't happen.
Before. No, that had never.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So now
you never heard the ECW.
Yeah, exactly.
WWE.
So now, it not to the point, but you heard it, but it was never like you were never scared that the people were going to flip over.
That was a lot. You heard ECW into like 2000 until last week. Probably they're still chanting. They still chant ECW when they see a table
You
spot.
would hear it either in WCW on Monday Nitro, or you would hear it after WWF had bought out ECW. But
but you would never be afraid of, oh shoot, next week they're gonna flip over and watch ECW.
What about the rest of the card? What'd you hate about the rest of the card?
I felt like the strongest match of the night was Becky Lynch versus
that was
Sasha
totally
Banks.
the best match all night. Was
Hands
the first
down.
one of Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch.
They
was
opened
like
it
the
strong,
best.
and then it tapered off.
At spots that I'd never seen before. When she sits her up in the corner on the chair, because you can't really do that with a guy that's 300 pounds.
Right.
They're not going to be able to support that. But Sasha Banks is able to sit up there. Becky Lynch comes out with the karate kick to her head.
Yeah.
So that was probably one of the best
Becky
matches.
Lynch got hurt, didn't she?
I think she's okay.
I think she's like no longer.
It's Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks is the one that didn't make it the next night. Sasha Banks got hurt, and Bray Wyatt is some kind of messed up too. He wasn't cleared for Monday either.
Yeah, they weren't.
Probably a concussion. I mean, you got the ladder on him. You're hitting him in the head 50 times.
I
More
mean,
than likely
when you actually go back to doing a headshot with chairs, that's gonna happen. Yeah, so
sturdy man. What are you gonna do?
All right, one more thing before we get our first guest on here. Did either of you get to see the NWA Power with the 3 Rs?
I just get to see the whole thing. I saw Nick Aldis versus Tim Storm.
Right.
I watched some of it. I like the fact that Eli Drake kind of felt like a watered down Stone Cold Steve Austin to me. Just the way that he cut that promo at the beginning, I was like, all right. But for the most part, it was pretty fun.
You know what? We talked last week, or not last week. Let's not go on about last week. But the
last
week
week
before
was fantastic.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Best episode ever.
You guys did a good job, by the way, for the most part.
Hey, you know.
Hey, you
how
know.
many times did I
I'm
plug?
buying
How many
stock
times
in
did I
Blake Troop right
exactly?
now.
How many times did I plug October 26th on that show? Go back and watch it. I guarantee you,
least
there's
12.
not a point where you can watch it for 5 minutes without me mentioning the next damn show.
Speaking of, we lost our producer, so let me just say this. What was I saying? Okay.
We
You
were
want to
talking
bring out
about
the next
power.
guest.
We were talking
You're
about.
tired of my
we were
opinion
talking
about Hell in the Cell.
We were talking about studio wrestling, and NWA is bringing it back. I think that is a really good formula because NWA is not nationwide. They're
Right.
not trying to convince you that they are the premier league in professional wrestling.
Right.
No, we are a small, used to be, trying to be again, right?
Well.
And that's how they present it. And I absolutely love the honesty involved in a small studio show, like the old TBS JCP Jim Crockett Promotions show was. I think that's honoring the past.
It is,
and it's realizing the present.
And it's a better idea to hold a studio and say, come to us if you really want to see this, rather than traveling around and trying to sell out these arenas and only selling half.
Right.
You know, and then turning around and going, well, shoot, I got to pay the arena rentals, and then I got to pay all the talent, and then at the end of the day, what stack am I looking at?
Yeah,
You know that feeling.
It's like, I sure do. All right, so you liked it too. You liked it.
I like Jim Cornette's voice on it, talking about the NWA. I thought that was great. Like he's got the passionate opinion about it. And he's talking about like Nick Aldis has always wanted to be part of like an up and coming thing and be the center stone of it. I think they can build off of him. He was great. The other guy's older. I think Nick Aldis is probably gonna be their champion going forward. I liked the number of people watching it because I was watching it live on Facebook and they had about 15,000 viewers at the time.
That's
so like
great.
that's more than 3,500 people bought the last Ring of Honor pay-per-view, Death Before Dishonor. So there was a larger audience for the NWA show.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that because, I know that Billy Corgan absolutely loves wrestling, and for guys who I absolutely love the NWA.
Hey, Master P just bought a wrestling company, by the way, House of Glory
I
or whatever.
heard
How do you feel about that? Make them say,
Make them say, nah. Think I'm good.
I actually met Master.
What is it? No Limit Wrestling.
I was working the door at a local nightclub, and he came in. What an asshole! Oh my God, he got all upset because I didn't know who he was, and I asked for his ID. And
You didn't know who he was.
His name was like Percival or like something
That's
stupid.
why it's
and I go,
Master P.
thank you, Percival, or whatever the frick your name is. You're a dick.
Right.
If you're watching, you're a dick.
Okay, everybody remembers Master P's first involvement in professional wrestling in WCW?
Nitro?
Okay,
Yeah.
they
No Limit Foot
brought
Soldiers?
him in, the No Limit Soldiers, like they were going to be the
Yeah.
faces, running them in Atlanta and Alabama and whatnot, versus the West Texas Rednecks, Barry Windham, Kurt Hennig going, raps a bunch of crap.
I hate rap.
And they were supposed to be the heels going in, and that was like the contract that Master P had signed. Obviously was not having fun when they were getting booed and booed and
exactly.
booed. Almost getting lynched in the middle of Mobile with Kurt Hennig, leading the charge.
Yeah, I experienced the same thing when we brought in Black Justice to be the faces against the Shiny Boys. We're supposed to be the heels. We bring them both in. Everyone looks at the heels. They looks at the faces. They start cheering the heels because they.
Yasho's a beautiful man.
It's called knowing your. It's called.
Yasho's a beautiful man.
It's called knowing your crowd. I would never go to Nashville on a DJing gig and start playing hip hop.
The towns they were running didn't make any
stupid.
sense.
If
they were in Oakland, cool.
Can you run the 26th banner in the back? Our next guest is a frequent guest here on the Royal Ramble. He's a former OCCW heavyweight wrestling champion. He is the current Lucha Pro heavyweight wrestling lucha champion. He is known the world over as the German fitness guru. He is known to OCCW fans as Mr. Yummy Yummy. You and I and you know him as Gusten Thunder Uberstewart. Please welcome Gusten.
Yeah. And we noticed he doesn't have a belt either. What the fuck's going on?
Where is your belt?
It's a show of solidarity right now.
No, it is not a show of solidarity.
No solidarity, no trying to prove a point. You don't know where my belt is. I might be wearing my belt under my coat. I might have my belt locked away in a private room somewhere, so somebody can't come in and snatch it off my waist.
Right.
Because if you, John Malice, don't want to set me up for success, everybody coming in here trying to steal my belts, I'm trying to beat Vintage Dragon, running off with everything that belongs to OCCW.
Don't nobody want that
I gotta
giant
protect
paperweight.
what I gotta protect. So don't worry about what my belt is. You worry about your damn self. You worry about your damn self.
You guys don't have some habit that you're sharing together I don't know about that caused you to lose all 3 of those belts, do you?
Nah, I mean,
Better check yourself or you wreck yourself.
We're not making enough money at the whole wrestling.
There's other things.
I left you a tester for that, so you can test them on your.
Okay. Oh, you left that for me.
I ain't paying into nothing,
I wonder who
Robert.
left that.
I
You
ain't
know what?
paying on nothing until
we have seen the production value. Maybe you need a tester before we start taking anything.
I'm fine. I can do whatever I want. I'm not an athlete.
He's got a point. Okay.
I mean, Douglas James might be the Iron Heart, but you, my friend, are the Iron Jaw. I saw you on the TV taking quite the punch.
Yes. Okay.
And here you are, alive and well.
Ladies and gentlemen, our good friend Gusten
man.
Uberstud once again made it an appearance twice this week for WWE, both on SmackDown and Raw. Am I correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us what you can tell us about your experience there?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you first on Friday when I showed up. They were kind enough to invite me to come out to the show, and you go to the show, you don't know what you're gonna do. That you get an invitation that said, "Would you like to come?" You say, "Yes, of course, I would like to come." So I got there, and the first thing I noticed was the stage, the new stage, the new look. Just standing at it before the show even started and looking up at it, it was gorgeous. Like that was the thing that was like really impressive to me. It had so much depth and it looked like so much thought had been put into it. So to me, like the first thing about being there was just like, man, look what these guys have done. This is beautiful. It looks like wrestling in the future or something. So I don't know. I get really excited about the way the set looks.
Well,
so standing in front of it is just kind of like awe-inspiring, especially when it's new.
Oh, yeah.
It looks pretty.
Boner just watching the new set.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was
It didn't look like a WWE live set. I mean, because that's what it was all starting to go to, was like the little tiny sets, and then for them to actually push that budget to make it look like a thought out and well purchased
AC off, please.
WWE set. Like,
well digger's ass in here. No, the AC.
Never felt such a thing.
What'd you say?
I said it's colder than a well digger's ass.
okay. Well, a well digger's ass.
What'd you say?
That's what he said.
I did not
How you spell that?
Come on now.
I said,
no one's
what?
ever heard me say
I'm colder
that.
than a what, nigga?
No. So I'm sorry to interrupt. Keep going.
No, that's okay. I want to hear more about this.
This well digger's ass.
Well, boy.
Hey, you gotta, hey, don't disrespect him. Put an A at the end of it. It's a well digger. Nah. Don't be disrespectful.
That said, you had to work some security? Is that what it was, or?
They did ask me to work a little security, which I was absolutely fine with.
I mean, he's a fitness guru, of course.
I'm a fitness guru, so
I get it.
Keep these guys in line. Big bad celebrities coming in there, getting out of line. They bring in Gusten Uberstud to help keep things in
them
check.
sharp, right?
That's what we do.
Keep them honest.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened?
That's what we do.
He kept
He
his.
jumped the rail. I had to stop him.
You almost got
With your
chin
face?
checked.
No, that happened on Monday.
He did not.
I'm still on Friday.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not bring up money.
Sorry. Okay.
So,
So who's the big boxing guy? I don't watch a lot of boxing.
Oh, that's Tyson Fury.
Let's talk a little bit about Tyson Fury, the guy that's
We're gonna
ducking.
that's on our topics thing. We'll get to that. Right? He's not ducking.
He's
Oh, you are so
And
full.
he's undefeated.
he's ducking
He
Deontay
beat
Wilder.
that guy's ass.
Deontay Wilder.
He whooped his ass like he
really
stole
big, though.
something.
Then why isn't he the champion? Man?
Because I don't know. Because boxing is more effed than friggin' wrestling. Jeez. All right.
Deontay Wilder handled him.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about catering.
They have shrimp.
delicious. They had these little crab cake things.
All right.
Did you meet Cain Velasquez?
Hey,
Was he
hey,
nice?
did they have a meatball sandwich?
No.
Don't tell me they had a meatball sandwich.
Meatballs. They brought the meatballs out, and I said, "You can take those things right back to the kitchen. You're jacking OCCW. We're not gonna have any of that."
Because there's nothing like Mama De La O's meatball sandwiches.
Thank you very much.
Now, I had some friends that were there. A personal guy that I worked with for 7 years, Dennis Rodman. He actually posted some pictures up, and he was at the event. Did you meet Mr. Rodman himself?
I didn't meet him, but it was about the wildest experience that you could have. I'm sitting there, and Ric Flair sitting behind me, and all of a sudden the door swings open, and I hear Hulk Hogan go, "Woo!" woo, and he walks in.
Wait,
and
Hulk Hogan said woo?
yeah, to Ric Flair.
And did Ric Flair go say, what did you say?
No, let me turn up my hearing aid.
And then in behind Hulk Hogan walks Dennis Rodman. I'm sitting there going, wait a minute, man. This is back to my childhood. This is
Right.
great.
That's awesome.
Right,
This
wow.
is great. We're all eating dinner together.
Yeah.
They don't know that I'm there, but we're all eating dinner together. We're all eating dinner together.
Did they ask you for a refill or anything like that? No?
No.
Okay. All right. So,
I am a feared and respected security guard.
Now let's jump to Monday.
so let's go to Monday. So on Monday, you were in Bakersfield.
Bakersfield. And not to go on about the physical locations, but to go on about the physical location, that Rabobank Arena, I kind of thought Bakersfield.
Yeah,
I'm
right,
going to
right.
Bakersfield. Rabobank Arena was really nice.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the. I think it's one of
It's
my
brand
favorite
new,
places
isn't it?
I've
Isn't
been
it like
to.
a year or two
A bunch
old?
of Jose's and Juans out there.
I don't know, but part of it is a theater, and then the other half of it is the actual arena.
It's the only form of entertainment they have.
So
out
when you
there.
go in, like where all the trucks drive in, like the loading dock, all of a sudden, like if you just look past the trucks, there's a bank of seats. It's a theater.
Right.
So you drive onto the stage.
Oh, wow.
But then like you have to actually go to like another part of the building, and then all of a sudden you're in the arena.
Huh.
It was great.
That's cool.
Thank you, Rabobank Arena. That's
Thank you, Rabobank Arena,
the point there.
for being
So-
Rabobank Arena.
So we noticed there was hands thrown. Did you get punched?
I did get hit. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. If
Caught
you
those hands?
if you watch the clip, you'll see me.
We also
see-
see Danny
you'll see me
Limelight get
getting-
knocked the fuck out too.
Yeah, he got
knocked out
Yeah,
by,
we all, well, we all did.
Good.
We all
Who
got.
cares?
We all got those hands.
Did he tear his meniscus again on the way down?
Oh Jesus!
So Braun's got a receipt coming, is what you're saying. You're
better watch out, Braun Strowman.
Well, I mean
that's
that's
on you, but you'll even it
You
up.
better watch out.
that's a testament to how tough the guys in OCCW are, though. He ain't got a scratch on him, and
Not a scratch.
He took a nice little whooping from Braun
I
Strowman.
did. That's right.
In fact,
we're not going to mention the fact that I was laying on the floor for about 15 minutes.
Well,
We're
it
going to
happens.
leave that part out.
In that nice suit.
In that nice suit.
Yeah.
Well, you were working pretty
you
hard.
put a little ice on the ice on your face, and because
Yeah.
his hand is about the size of my face, so where'd you get hit, Goosen? In the face.
you're like everywhere. You're like
The whole thing. I got hit in the
Well,
head.
to be honest, you look no worse for wear. I know that.
Had a little rest and a little ice, and
You're
I
going to
know-
be ready for the
Good
26th,
idea.
aren't you?
Yeah, I think so.
All
I
right,
think
now-
so.
And speaking of the
Down.
26th, this October the 26th, here in beautiful uptown Los Alamitos, just hop, skip, and a jump that way. You go past that crappy McDonald's, go left at the
junky,
lousy Del Taco, and make sure you avoid the
El
shitty
Pollo Loco.
El Pollo Loco. You will be in Los Alamitos, and you will be at the third annual Halloween Purging at American Legion Post 716, where you will see Team OCCW made up primarily of these three as they take on the dastardly foursome plus one of Lucha Pro.
Did you see his? Well, like what team are you on? What do you mean? Oh well.
What are you talking about?
Well,
He just
because
said the
I
three
don't
of us
know if you
on
remember, but
Yeah, and you said well.
You said that?
What? No? What are we doing?
Gustin Oberstad is not the most reliable person these days.
Oh, wait a minute. Goosen Uberstud, don't say Goosen Uberstud's not reliable. Goosen Uberstud has been fighting his way back to that OCCW title for the last 6 months, and for the last 6 months, that OCCW title has escaped Goosen Uberstud, and not because Goosen Uberstud didn't do what Goosen Uberstud had to do, escape Goosen Uberstud, because Goosen Uberstud couldn't get his hands on it because of all these little loopholes and contracts and stuff like that. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say. You got to set me up for success. You want to know why I'm not bringing my Lucha Pro title out here tonight? Maybe I don't want to bring my Lucha Pro. Maybe it'll just vanish away from the table again, just like everything else. Goosen Uberstud is setting Goosen Uberstud up for success because no one else is going to do it. So you don't worry about my little side comment. You don't worry about what team Goosen Uberstud's on, okay?
Here's
All right?
the
Goosen
problem.
Uberstud does what Goosen Uberstud has to do.
Well, here's the problem with that mentality. When you're in the ring with me and I need you as a partner, you better make sure you align yourself with the right side. Because if I can't depend on you, ain't nobody gonna be seeing you or that Lucha Pro title again.
No. Okay, let me just say this.
Azrael and his amazing friends are coming for victory on October 26th. So you be ready, Lucha Pro.
Okay, that's
The Azraelites are running wild. There might not be no I in team, but there's a
M&E.
we in we're gonna win on the 26th.
Yeah, for you English majors.
Yeah,
out there.
there's him and an Ian team.
This-
Me.
There you go.
Come see the 3rd annual Halloween Purging, where Team OCCW in a Survivor-style match will take on 5 members of Lucha Pro in an elimination match.
Cinco.
And here's the kicker, ladies and gentlemen. There's no rules, nowhere to hide, and save one. There
Is it ending in a DQ?
there is one rule. I just decided to add it.
Oh god.
I talked to the lawyers. They said it was perfectly fine, even though everyone had signed the contract. It was a little bit open at that space.
Dustin Lawyer?
The winner of the match. No, Dustin Lawyer was busy
Has
with
he
his.
chimed in yet?
Not yet. He's got his lobsters and his cats
He's
taking him
watching
for a
Raw
walk.
on his DVR.
There's
Somebody he likes on it.
That said, the winner of this match will claim the OCCW heavyweight title.
Good.
That
the
is
winner of the
if
match.
you
So all
pin-
5 of us get it?
If you pin, no, whoever pins gets the last pin, the final elimination, will win the title. It's that simple. It's that
So
simple.
if we get rid of Vintage early on, there's a guarantee.
that title will change hands. Now,
So I can count on all of your support then, everyone.
Yeah.
We're all in this together?
Yep. You can you can go ahead and support me by carrying me to the back after I win that title.
Hey man, no, you're gonna help me, right? I'll grease you with another 20 if need be.
another 20. So, while it would have been easier to get the a title match with Damon Devine rather than hitting him over the head with a chair, right? You would have been first in line for
Oh yeah,
that
and
title.
now you see how I get played. Now everybody gets a shot at the title.
You
Everybody
get a
on the
shot at
same
the title.
team
You
gets a
weren't
shot
supposed
at
to
the
get another
title.
shot at the title until sometime
Yeah,
next
talk
year.
about carrying people to the back. I'm gonna have to carry him through the match. I might as well carry him to the back too.
Wow.
That's right. You know, you even think about maybe why I did what I had to do.
Why
Huh?
did you? Okay, I asked you and you didn't tell me.
No, you didn't ask me, and I'm not going to tell you. But did you ever think about this? How many times has Vintage Dragon, how many times has Alexander Vega, how many times has Freddie Flores been running in here, messing up matches, messing with your desk, messing with anything
Messing
since
with my
that
desk.
happened? How many times has that happened since I did that? 0 times.
That's right.
0 times. Gusta Nubersud has to keep things in line.
That's
You want victory? You want Team OCCW victory?
I do.
I do.
I do.
Si puede.
Apparently, that's 2 out of the 3 of you.
What about you?
I mean, I'm guaranteeing it. You got me on the team. You ain't got nothing to worry.
Just win, baby. Not like the Raiders.
Hey,
you're gonna win.
Hey, hold up. Hold up. Did you not watch?
Hey,
There is
man.
no barely.
Hey.
We don't put asterisks on anybody else's damn victories.
We're not-
So when we win, we win.
All right.
That's it.
But we're not gonna let them get. We're not gonna get far ahead and then let them catch up, are we? I don't want it to be really close at the end.
Let's.
I
not
want to
do that.
end it all the way through.
There's no Derek Carr.
We're gonna play 60 minutes of football.
Fortunately, there's no Derek Carr on your team.
And there definitely ain't no Khalil Mack either. So we definitely getting the win.
Yeah, damn right, damn right.
What are you looking at me like that for?
Also,
I don't care
on
about
the
the
card, we
Raiders.
have a three-way
I got no horse in that
a
race.
three-way dance with
I got a horse, but not in that.
Ayoka, the inimitable Heidi,
Oh.
Mistress Heidi, Auntie Heidi, Heidi, and Vera, Kitana Vera. So,
Triple threat, huh?
triple threat. At the last one, they had the world's first 3-woman triple disqualification, right? This time, there are no rules. There will be no disqualification. One fall to a finish. So don't miss that. It'll be the first women's 3-way match at the Purging, the 3rd annual Halloween Purging. Tickets.
You might want to call that a menage a thrall.
I will call it that. I don't speak a lot of French, but I understood by the tone of his voice what he meant.
You know, Auntie Heidi, that she's kind of like our own, like Bray Wyatt. She's got that kind of
Yeah,
like
right,
dual
yeah.
side, like you don't really know like what she's gonna do. You
Yeah,
don't know
I'm
when
pretty
she's gonna
sure
pop
I
up from behind you and do something
Then-
spooky.
I think a lot of people
Here's
have
the
had
thing.
nightmares about that.
She's pretty scary, right? And then you'll sit down and you'll have this nice conversation, and then you'll see that that ghoul behind those
I'm
eyes.
talking
start to
about.
peek through. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
These ladies better watch out. She might pop up in some red lights and
Yeah, and who knows what.
choke them out.
And speaking of ghouls, there are going to be ghouls at this event, right?
There will be ghouls, the purgers. Now, what happens at the purging, when someone is eliminated, they do not simply just get counted out. They are eliminated, not just from the show, but from, the evening, pretty much. If you've never been to a Halloween purging, please, you got to check it out. Typically, Halloween shows for wrestling are really lame. You have wrestlers dressed up in stupid costumes, pretending to be everything from Donald Trump to Harry Potter, right?
We ain't got to do
Like a
that.
wrestling tax attorney.
Or they'll do those even more ridiculous hardcore matches where people bleed all over and they fall through
Or a wrestling
light tubes
dentist.
and all that. Or a wrestling dentist.
That would be stupid.
Or a vampire.
Or a Mantar.
Or
Repo Man.
A repo man, yeah, exactly.
Pro wrestling, cannot stoop to such lows.
Like
So,
stupid
check out
stuff
the
like
Halloween
vampires.
I
mean,
that's stupid.
Vampire.
I mean,
yeah.
what grown ass man go dress up as a vampire?
That's a true thing, by the way.
So come
I'll
check.
take you to the right clubs.
Come, what?
I'll
Check.
show you a good time.
Hey, put my pen back,
No.
please. I don't know what you're doing with it down there. All right.
Trying to draw
The
blood.
Halloween
a Pen
purging.
15
That's at
club.
American Legion Post 716 in Los Alamitos. That is October 26th. That's a Saturday evening. Doors open at 5:30. Bell time at 6 p.m. Tickets are $15 pre-sale, $20 at the door. Do not miss it. Yes.
Now, real quick, John, I know this is the purging. We have a lot of people that walk around with masks. Is it going to be kind of kid-friendly, or they should leave some certain age limit of kids home? Because
Bring all of the children. Anyone who has money should attend the event.
well, I just looking out,
No, yeah, you don't have to worry about the scare factor.
Well, no. I mean, the kids got to learn somehow.
Yeah.
This is a Halloween event. It is not gore. It is not trash. It is not flash. One more quick announcement. I've been meaning to make this all week. I finally got around to it. The first Legion title will be decided that night at the Halloween purging between Luis Tap Out Tapia and Freddie Havoc. The first ever Legion title match will be held there at the purge. Prior to the actual purging, it'll be a regular match, all rules, disqualification counts, etc., for the first annual OCCW Legion title. So don't you dare miss that. That said, our last show, Next Level, Thunder and Lightning successfully defended their titles against the team formerly known as Modern Justice. Robert, can you cue that up for us? I wanted to show you a little bit a reason why I don't think you have anything to fear from your tag team partners here on the 26th.
Well, I mean, we won, so obviously we're established.
I mean, he speaks Spanish, but it's very broken. So he,
Primera lucha está sábado domingo.
Some nice loot. Some nice.
Okay, and
It's
then,
Spanish for sword.
It's greener.
that's what I was gonna say. I was like, does it stand for green sword?
There's
I don't know
Hector
what-
Macho
it might stand for
Camacho.
Green string, G string.
Hey, I've seen Camacho in just his tidy whities, and I know why he goes by the name of Macho. Jesus Christ, boy. Talk about a horse, El Caballo Grande.
Now, this is raw footage sent in. This is kind of like the Blair Witch Project. Because it seems to be we're getting in more of the ceiling than the actual.
Hey, we're all very tall, you know?
Who's that cute girl in the green?
She must be in his greener fan.
Oh,
There's the title belt fan who had like 100 title belts on him.
Yeah, they call him the Belt Man, or what do they call him?
Even more than old title belt guy.
Title Belt guy, right.
Even more than Ultimo Dragon.
Okay, now here is your ring entrance. Now, by the way, it's a very nice ring entrance.
Yeah, whoever put this together.
well, there's Jose the cable guy sitting down there.
Yeah, there's Jose the Cable guy sitting there out behind the title.
Oh, here we go. Here's a handsome man.
And there's your two biggest fans.
well, and the one thing that I don't know if you people can hear at home, but for some reason,
They're playing the divine.
they're playing the divine intervention music.
Much
I
to
didn't
the
agree.
chagrin.
I did not agree to this. I don't know if my tag team partner decided to pay off the DJ or.
It changes every night. Yeah, there you go. That's something you can bang your head to. This is something I can sacrifice a virgin to get down with the devil.
Yeah, you guys sit there talking about my divided loyalties and whatnot. You got a division right here. Don't even bring their belts to the show.
You know, we'll get it done. When there's title belts on the line, we always come through. Look,
Don't give me that look. Don't give me that eye, boy. You know what I mean? There's a belt here. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. It's probably in my
stereo.
bag. In my bag.
Explain to everybody real quick. My belt has not been found for about 3 weeks at this point. Nobody has any idea where it is. If I cannot find a championship belt to hold the place of the title, I will not be allowed to participate in the match, so I am frantically searching the building for a title belt of some kind. I don't want title guys because they probably got cooties.
I'm doing this on my own.
He's a lonely man. I don't want to touch his title belts.
Yeah, but it seems like Camacho's used to touching dirty stuff, so I know he grabbed a few of those titles at some point.
Look at them mocking you, B.A. I mean, I don't know how you managed to keep your composure.
I mean,
you just sat there and
it's literally like being disrespected by 5-year-old children. Like
Linda, you're not listening.
Right, you know, like at that point, it's like, do I go in and if I would have been wearing a belt, I probably would have taken it off and beat the hell out of
the
him.
biggest, fanciest belt I could lay my hands on. Clearly, the most expensive belt shown on the program.
Wait, come on now.
Nope, there it is in all its glittering gold and glory.
It looks like a replica WWE belt.
I am the greatest champion
specific
of all time.
WWE belt.
Yeah,
What about it? It's got the white strap like the Intercontinental title,
yeah,
right?
but it's not quite.
Yeah,
I believe that's the
It's the fancy
Raw
one.
Women's
Hell,
Championship.
it is. What do you mean?
That
You're sporting a Raw Women's Championship
I mean, any port in a storm, man. Did you want my help or not? I found a belt. That's the other half of the tag team belts. You know, Esgrima and Camacho have been none the wiser.
Look at their belts.
And, you know, they're more willing to play with Title Guy than I am.
You didn't get that from Title Guy? Because he only has men's belts. You were looking for something specific.
I guess, you know, Title Guy is very, very manly.
It was like you're at TJ and they're trying to sell you belts down there.
You're currently holding more titles. Technically.
I mean, they
well,
didn't
it's not.
win any
It's
of
not
those.
always.
If you're a fan and
It's
you
not
bring a
always
replica
quantity,
title
it's
to the
quality.
show, you should have to defend it. I will fight any of these fans for their championship belts on any given night.
They don't. What?
Yeah, bring them in there. If you're gonna bring a replica belt, I should get to fight you for it, fair and
You
square.
better be careful. Sometimes large boxers show
Jesus
up to
Christ,
shows
you know what?
and
If
try
I
to jump
bought
in
a
the
ticket to
ring.
this show, I'd be
Hey,
getting
really?
pissed off because you guys aren't actually wrestling. You've been outside arguing and taunting everybody for, what, 20 minutes now? Well, there's Luther Dansby.
LD.
LD.
We all know what LD stands for, Luther.
The little ODB.
Yeah.
LDB.
Long. Luther.
I was gonna say
No,
little.
it sounds for long day because that's what it's gonna be when he's in there repping. It's a long day.
Luther's by far my favorite referee. How dare you besmirch Luther?
Looks like he just came from his job at Foot Locker. You know what? I'm gonna have to get you guys some new referees shirts because I think we just look like everyone else's referees, right?
Well, something with like an OCCW brand on it.
It's about
Turn it back
time.
on me.
It's about time. You beat him down like he stole, especially the one in the wife beater.
I mean, I was waiting for him to not be looking because I'm a genius, and then BA followed suit because, you know, he knows how to take commands, and away we go. We are on the same page.
More than taking commands, I know how to get the job done, and you wouldn't be getting a damn thing done without me. So let's be real about
You
that.
know, he head
Looks
scissored
like you
me.
just got head scissored into the corner ring post.
You're doing fine. I'll leave you to it.
It looks like BA's putting a pretty good beat down on Esgrima.
I can't believe you guys
eating a big
attacked
elbow.
him
Now
from
let me
behind.
ask you,
There
BA,
you
those
go.
look like some
Look at
pretty
that.
sharp elbows,
I'm
man.
I
to
mean,
do what it
he's
takes.
got some stiff shots. The kid's got a lot of moxie, but at the end of the day,
What are you, 80?
well, you know,
Moxie. Hey,
That whippersnapper had a lot of gumption to him.
he does. You know,
Why you gotta step on what he's saying? Go ahead, let him finish his thought.
Go.
Sorry, I'm just showing the world
Don't be
that
such a whippersnapper there.
Oh, right in my stupid face. Oh, God damn it. Come
And
on.
don't put another hole in the wall.
Called glory holes, John.
No, they're not. Not if I have to pay for them.
Oh, and he's still there.
And everyone was asking me, why are you just standing there watching your partner get his ass whooped?
They were really asking. you
The
that?
people were asking me
Like,
that.
They must not know your partner.
Well,
You don't have a lot of sympathy from me.
I really don't, because I believe that every man deserves a little bit of an ass whooping before they get the say.
There you go.
I've suckered Camacho into this. And then slam dunk him. That a boy.
There you go.
Like
Dude, you
Jordan
should've
going
done
right
that
over
for
my
me.
I wanted to do it. I really wanted to do it at least 3 more times.
You must have hurt him really bad because he couldn't help with setup or tear down before or after.
Well,
Take that.
surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
Has the bell even rang yet?
Nope. We are getting it in, baby. We're getting it in. What? We're brawling. It's a bar fight.
Well,
Look, we're at a bar.
if I recall correctly, the referee's supposed to call for the bell to be wrong, right?
I mean, it's his job.
I tried to kill Esgrima and he defended himself
blocked
like an
that.
asshole. Boom!
Oh, look.
Oh, is that the bell?
Now
Yeah,
match
we
is
got the bell
Okay,
started.
yeah, the bell.
While we're winning, as I had planned. Thank you very much. Commence the Kumite. Oh, boom. There you go. Pepper him with some rights and lefts.
I gotta give Luther credit. He's keeping you guys from double teaming.
You're not Luther's dad or anything. Are you?
You know what?
Are you BA?
I'd have to see his mom.
No, BA. You
Okay.
you don't look like Luther.
BA just
your worst.
Nah, I don't think so.
mud hole.
Ashamed to Luther.
I mean, you want an honest answer?
They're more like twins, like Dane
There
DeVito
you
and
go.
Arnold
They say
Schwarzenegger.
white men can't jump. I say be nay, sir. Boom! Shakalaka!
Fantastic leg drop from Azrael. Eskrima gets in the ring. And
Oh, then he shows a little
the
bit
whole
more of a
Batman and
clumsy.
Robin type thing going on the famous TV show. You guys are playing fast and loose with the rules, aren't you?
Just get him. Get him. The hell with
Luther's not exactly.
Well, I mean,
You'd be a lot better at making friends if you follow the rules there, buddy.
yeah, but but really,
I
where's
think
the fun in that?
I
Where?
did that.
You
heard
beat
me.
him for 10 minutes. You beat him down 10 minutes before the match started.
Well, I mean, when you come out running your mouth, sometimes you're gonna get punched in it.
Hey, you're not gonna complain about it when we're on your team. Yeah, that's what Team Lucha Pro is gonna get. A lot of ass in the
Why
face.
were you at? Why wiping your ass for? What happened?
I mean, when you get a little bit of Camacho's greasy face on your ass, you're gonna want to wipe it off too.
They're gonna get your yummy and then his big cheeks in the mouth.
And Lord knows what
Lucha
you're
Pro's
gonna
coming
do.
out with pink eye after this. We're all gonna need some penicillin after this.
Big cheeks is yummy.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do to win.
This
that
match
belt,
is
baby.
brought to you by Visine.
Yeah, get the rest.
Oh my goodness!
it's
Just
some life.
a little.
Hit him harder, Camacho.
Oh, well, not too much life. Looks like he's gonna be sleeping with the
I've
fishes.
been in the ring with Marcus Frey. You got to hit him harder than that if you want to do anything. Come on. Come on, Camacho.
Well, I mean, some
Give him a good
guys
shot.
have to learn the hard way.
There you go. Throw him like the piece of trash he is.
That's oh, look at what is this?
Shades of the Road Dog, the greatest tag team of all time.
The Road Dog is the greatest tag team?
Yeah, I mean, sure, he had a big muscular
Screamer with the
fella or
save.
whatever.
Screamer with the save.
Road Dog carried that team.
Well, I've heard of dreadlocks, but shitlocks? Come on, that guy. No.
Now I practice my karate. Luther, you don't tell me what to do. I tell you what to do, Luther. Shut your mouth. I'll have Luther working at the Foot Locker.
Poor Luther. He reminds me of Beetlejuice from Howard Stern.
Boom! Clown. Back to the ground.
Fantastic. You know, with some quick tags from the champions.
You've You got tag team cohesion on your side going into the end
Now,
of
how
this.
long have you guys been a tag
And
team
then-
exactly?
I mean, it feels like a decade and a half. It
A
really.
little more than a year, yeah?
Yeah, it's been going on now for.
Shoulder block party. I'm shucking and jiving, and boom, crushes his ribs. Oh, damn it, it's 3 best. You know, I mean, he's down for his homie. I respect that.
Don't run.
A distinguished looking.
Yeah, sit down, John. Goddamn. Yo, how many calories do you need to burn?
He's got to
And
get
I'm
his
dancing
steps
for the
in.
Boom. Killed him dead. Yeah, see, I got something important I gotta talk to Luther about, you know, mostly about the end of the Civil War and the economic situation following there in the colonies.
Well, I mean, you got to educate the youth. You know.
I'm explaining to him the importance of the Electoral College. And I just punched Camacho in the mouth real quick.
All right. And now he's going to school you on the current state of hip hop in the United States.
There's gonna be a lot of mumbling and talking about money that he doesn't actually have.
And telling on people.
Okay, it's gonna
Pump handle. Oh, he's out of it.
double
Oh,
drop it.
okay. I am ready. I'm well rested. Oh, shit.
You did not get to pump
Clothesline,
his-
short clothesline from Eskrima. Another one.
You are getting
Escrima's rallying. He's looking for a rear suplex, belly to back.
Oh, my poor neck and spine.
You know, if I were you, I would stretch out before the matches. Oh, low bridge to B.A. Marcus Frey out there with the sons of John Cena. Oh, through the ropes, over the top rope. Please tell him he didn't get this. Is he trying to shank you?
He's shaking you. He's shaking him.
Does he have a shank?
I mean, I felt a lot of poking. I didn't know if it was a pin or maybe a fork that he probably stole from the bar. This kid.
And see, now I play my ace in the hole. I've had my belt all along.
Oh, that
right
mystery,
up the side of Agrima's head, getting him out.
that disappearing belt reappeared, didn't it?
Yep, I had it the whole time.
Yeah, you
I
were
had it
pulling
under
one
the
over.
ring.
You were working us the whole time.
Bunch of idiots. I had them all
Bunch of
fooled.
idiots.
I am a master strategist.
Well,
Okay.
oh, B.A. looks like he ate some
Nope.
shoe leather there.
Boom! Stone cold
But
stunner.
what he ate was a lot more than that.
Oh, good golly,
Okay.
Miss Molly. That he planted him 6 feet deep. And as we can see, our referee has improved in that he has learned.
To count to 3. I'll take
He
it.
hasn't learned to tell him to ring the bell after the end of the match, but okay. So another victory for the devastating champs.
And you want to know what it was though? It was our 5th
Title defense.
successful title defense.
Five
You know, so just for that occasion, you know, we had to give him a little bit of 5 time.
Fantastic, fantastic, gentlemen. My hat's off to you. Not literally, but figuratively.
We don't want to blind everybody on the set.
Wait, hey, besides, you guys noticed anything different about me?
You finally shaved that Freddie Mercury mustache.
I don't think I was gonna say maybe the rest of it just finally fell off to kind of match the rest of your head.
Oh, great.
But I mean,
Lines for any of us tonight.
Handlebars are gone. Look, Ma, no hands.
You disgust me all.
What? No more mustache rides, huh?
Mustache and goatee off. Thank you very
they
much.
couldn't get the gum out.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will see more of these fine young gentlemen in action this October 26, 2019 at American Legion Post 716 when Orange County Championship Wrestling presents to you its 3rd annual Halloween Purging. No rules, nowhere to hide. Weapons, strategies, dare I say cheating, all
It's not
sanctioned
cheating
by
if
Orange
it's all
County
fair.
The founding fathers of OCCW and American Legion Post 716. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to a portion of our show. Also, do not forget, Orange County's first Legion title will be awarded that night in a match between Freddie Havoc and Luis Tap Out Tapia. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to our show, the portion of our show where I present topics. Our distinguished panel will have 1 minute. Can you give me a timer? We'll have 1 minute to comment on such topics, and we will go from there. This week, our list of topics comes from none other than the ever-present Joey the Bull Santana. So
That's
thank you to
right.
Joey.
No problem.
All right, he made my job a lot easier today. I really appreciate it. And you know what? Let's take a moment to thank Joey the Bull for, I feel like he is maybe the unsung hero of OCCW, when really it's me. But anyway.
Get out of here.
He has been here almost from the very beginning. Well, practically from the beginning. First, he started as a fan, and I just want to tell you thank you, Joey, for all you've done,
Thank
for all
you.
you continue to do,
Appreciate
more
it.
importantly, for all the things you don't do wrong.
Yeah, I mean he's really is the second best voice in Southern California.
Who's the first?
I mean, my boy
please,
Ozzy V holds it down, But you definitely do your damn thing, so I
Yes,
give
I
you
do.
that.
You are not second in anybody's book except this guy because he probably owes him money. Okay.
I don't know. I don't
Don't
know
you
nobody
say,
anything.
oh, yeah, uh-huh.
I don't
I
know
think he
nobody
likes that
nothing.
ponytail. That's why,
Sitting right there, you could at least lie a little bit. I mean, you're willing to cheat.
At
Can't
least
you
I gave him second best.
Okay, our first topic, our panelists
I didn't
will
say
have
you were
a
the
topic
second
and they will
best in
have.
Thunder and Lightning.
Ah, but you're
And you didn't say it because it's not true.
speaking truth
No,
to
you
power
said
is
him.
difficult.
Okay. The panelists will have 1 minute. 1 minute to comment on the aforementioned topic.
What is the topic?
The first topic is fighters in wrestling. Fighters in wrestling. MMA this weekend we saw Tyson Fury. We saw
Cain Velasquez.
Cain Velasquez. Ridiculous. And of course Ronda Rousey and So who wants to take the first question?
I'll go. Go for it. You met them all, right?
Okay,
Something?
yeah.
Didn't one of them touch you?
Go.
Yeah.
He
Who's
tried.
the number two?
He
Fighters.
tried.
Fighters in wrestling.
Hold
Go.
up a doll. Show him where he touched you.
Okay, interestingly enough, I thought I heard someone say Kane was in the building, and I was looking for the big red machine, but I was clearly wrong. So I think fighters in wrestling, I think this is a little bit bigger than having fighters in wrestling. I think it's a little bit bigger than just having the fighters in wrestling. I think it's really about having celebrities in wrestling. I think what WWE wants to do and what they've done for a really, really long time
Mr.
is
T.
they bring Mr. T.
Lawrence Taylor.
I mean,
Lawrence
even
Taylor, yeah.
they bring people in.
Donald Trump?
that are going to get
Don't
Donald
forget,
Trump.
Muhammad Ali versus Gorilla Monsoon.
Right. They bring people in that are going to get eyeballs. So I think, as much as I want to sit back and say, oh man, there's a lot of pro wrestlers out there that deserve the opportunity before these guys do. It's kind of like, well, I understand what's going on. I understand that it's business and you're running an entertainment show and you're trying to attract people. I just think I hope when they bring them in, they get them ready.
Very good, very good. Would you care to comment on such topics?
What? Yeah, we all gotta go, right?
Go.
I mean, it's not. All right, cool. I mean, WWE has always brought in different people from different walks of life, like he was saying, like Snooki, like anything to get a different like fan base or whatever. So we got Cain Velasquez, which I guess is supposed to bring in the MMA crowd because they've had Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar's been a pro wrestler longer than he's been an MMA fighter, so they got to pull somebody who's a little bit more fresh from the MMA community. I mean, I'd like to see like Lyoto Machida or Bisbin or somebody new. I mean, Cain Velasquez, now that he's out of the drug testing pool, if I was him, I'd be juiced up to the gills, man. I'd want my balloons all the way inflated before I go out in front of a million people. He looks like a bunch of deflated balloons attached to a skeleton. I don't know if he just came out of the hospital or whatever, but that does not look like the same dude that beat up Brock Lesnar. And then Brock Lesnar's gonna play like he's afraid of this guy because that's the whole story is that's the guy that beat me for my belt. But he can stand toe to toe with Braun Strowman and not give a damn, even though that man's 400 pounds, looks like he can rip a car in half. And he did rip a car in half a couple of times, but screw him, I guess. But Cain Velasquez knows jujitsu or whatever, and he's gonna get Brock Lesnar in that heel hook or whatever. Tyson Fury, I mean, I don't watch a lot of boxing. Oh, fuck me, I guess.
Go finish your thought. Finish your thought. Go ahead, finish your thought. Finish your thought.
Tyson Fury, like, I don't watch a lot of boxing. I think boxing's popularity is below the WWE. I think boxing should be trying to have WWE guys fights in their ring to try to get some eyes on their product.
You're absolutely right.
I don't even know who that is. You know what I mean? And I watch sports a little bit.
He's the guy that's ducking Deontay Wilder.
Oh, he's the guy that beat Deontay Wilder and got screwed out of the decision.
So you tell me who Tyson Fury is. You take your minute and explain.
He's the heavyweight champion of the world.
In what?
Boxing.
In which WBA, FBA?
I think it's he
FBC,
he beat the hell out of the
CBS,
other heavyweight champion. BA, WBC, right?
Okay.
You know that
How
fat
big is he?
Mexican dude, Ruiz? Is that his name? He's the third. So there's the WBA, WBC, and the IBF, right? One of each holds the title.
Deontay Wilder.
Deontay Wilder.
No, that's wrong.
What is it? The IBA, WBA.
Andy Ruiz holds all three.
Who?
Andy Ruiz holds three.
No, well,
Why
he doesn't
isn't
hold.
he
He
on the
doesn't hold.
show?
He doesn't hold the ones that Deontay and Tyson Fury hold. He may hold 3. He may hold 23, but he doesn't hold them all.
Tyson Fury doesn't have a belt.
Well, he beat what's his name, Deontay Wilder for it.
He didn't beat Deontay.
Well, I know
lost.
he didn't beat it. He won the fight.
So
but they made it a draw.
They're pushing him
Anyway, all right.
as a champion because
right.
it was a draw.
In any case, right? I don't know why they're bringing guys who are less popular in.
Yeah, it doesn't make any
i.e.,
sense.
Cain Velasquez and
And if they haven't trained to have a match, that's going to look really bad. That's going to be really
Yeah.
hard for like Brock Lesnar to get a match out of Cain
Okay.
Velasquez, Tyson Fury versus Braun Strowman.
especially since
That's going to be even harder.
he's in CMLL, right? He's been down in CMLL for a
He
while.
had an appearance. I mean, he had a
AAA?
mask on.
Okay.
He was in Mexico, but I mean, he hasn't had like a bunch of matches. So it's like Lawrence Taylor versus Bam Bam Bigelow, and like you're hoping that it works like that and not like something terrible.
The difference is that Brock Lesnar is not Bam Bam Bigelow. Bam Bam Bigelow was an outstanding technical wrestler, trained by Larry Sharp at the Monster Factory, and
he carried that match.
Oh, of course he did. He had to, right? Brock Lesnar cannot carry Cain Velasquez.
I'm just really curious what that's going to look like.
You know what though? Maybe the whole angle on it is to kind of put that shade of doubt in the viewer's mind, saying, "What if they really do get mad in the middle of that ring
and they just really start throwing down?"
Exactly.
I mean, that's
I think
literally
that's
the
what
only
they're trying-
draw.
That's what they're trying. The angle they're trying to play.
Then you
Yeah.
might need some really strong security.
Yeah, thank God for the security.
You want to comment on that?
I sure
All right.
will.
For his thoughts on fighters in wrestling, we have the man who's been about meeting females. Go.
I mean, it really is something like they said that's been done over time, that has been done and built up, and yeah, we could even go back to Mike Tyson. He was supposed to have a match, after he did the whole screw job on Shawn Michaels, but that never came to fruition because Shawn Michaels' back was broken and he had to go out for quite some time
to find his smile.
Yeah. I mean, it literally was one of those things. But then you have Floyd Mayweather going up against Big Show. It's happened. Even what is it? The sumo wrestler going up against Big Show. Big Show's been kind of been the Akibono. Yeah, so it's stuff that's been going on. But my problem, like my partner Azrael is saying, is when these guys haven't had enough classical training in wrestling, you're now dooming yourself to this match looking really bad. And when you put him in the ring with guys like Braun Strowman, though he's evolved, he's still great. He's still not one of the best right now. So I would not trust Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar to be able to carry a match with two guys that have not been fully classically trained and had matches in actual professional wrestling. It's going to look bad.
Okay.
Makes Rey Mysterio look bad. He's like, that man bullied me. Help me, bigger Mexican fella.
Yeah,
That's their connection.
even though I beat that guy before, like when I was in my prime, now I can't do it. So I need to go out and find Cain Velasquez after he, looked like he just got done with a bender weekend in Vegas. And,
Well, I'm not sure if you heard the story, but Cain Velasquez is supposedly the godson. He's the Rey Mysterio's son.
He's the godfather of Rey Mysterio's son. Yeah, I get it. I get the connection. But a guy that I would have went out and got, a guy that also beat Brock Lesnar, Alistair Overeem. That guy, because of the fact that he has all...
He didn't just beat Brock Lesnar.
He beat the hell out of him. Mind you, he was on steroids, but damn it, Brock Lesnar was too. So it was a fair fight.
Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, go out and get the guy that looks jacked, that looks like he can still do this.
So this goes to the question to you guys real quick, not to throw off the subject. So you think after Cain Velasquez made his appearance, now you think a lot of these old school MMA fighters that still have in shape are going to probably eventually merge.
Here's the
WWE.
thing.
Tito Ortiz is fighting Alberto Del Rio coming up in like a month.
Yeah, but he's fighting him in mixed martial arts. So
I've noticed on Tito Ortiz's social media that a lot of WWE is right behind it too.
Okay,
So-
here's the thing about putting guys like Cain Velasquez and the like. They really did not commit to the UFC. I mean, yes, he won the title. I guess. But what happened was, every time he turned around, Cain Velasquez was not fighting. His fight was
wasn't
canceled.
healthy.
He was injured.
Yeah.
All these things happened, and so basically, he never really made his potential, like the Chuck Liddells of the world, like Anderson Silva, like
Speaking of, Chuck Liddell looks like he's in better shape than Cain Velasquez
yeah,
was.
it's like those types, right? So what is his plan B? I'm sure all that UFC money is probably run out. So now he's in the WWE and trying to cash in there. And if you have someone who did not, fully commit to what was supposed to be their passion, something as serious as the UFC, you can't expect him to put in the same sort of effort that is required of someone who has been wanting to be the WWE champion their whole life.
Right.
All right. It's not going to get it. Has anyone seen Ronda Rousey lately?
No. No.
Has
I mean, that's Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is like doing this because football didn't work out.
That's a good point. And how often do you see Brock Lesnar? I mean, who gets more criticism than Brock Lesnar for not constantly being on TV, not constantly being in the house shows, not being on every pay-per-view?
Yeah, but he's been around for 10.
Well, you've been around that long too. If you never had to wrestle,
But I'm saying he's got a whole history
and
behind
that is the difference between the two of them is he did pay his dues. That man did wrestle for a good it was like 9 years before he decided to walk away and try his hand at football. Went to the Minnesota Vikings. That was his first mistake.
Because he probably would have made the Raiders roster.
Well, yeah, shit. I mean, anybody could do that.
What Asriel brought up about the whole maybe hoping they're going to fight. I mean, Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle did put on a nice wrestling match during their actual match for about a good, I would say, 2 or 3 minutes where they were doing actually wrestling.
Oh, really? I've never seen that.
Fucking badass.
I've heard a lot about that.
They would pretty much always do that. Like every house show, like Kurt Angle talks about it. He's like, we would just wrestle each other like we were in college for like
and
about
it was
3 to 6
badass.
minutes.
It was
That's
a good
really
show to
cool.
watch.
That's really cool.
Look at some of the old footage and you'll actually see.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah.
Actually do
Yeah,
that.
and I believe the guy can still do it, but unfortunately, right now in his repertoire, he has a German suplex and an F5.
Okay.
Period.
Our next and final topic of the evening, and we will wrap it up after this. Team Hogan versus Team Flair. Team Hogan versus Team Flair. I don't understand it. Maybe you guys can shed some light on it.
Shit.
We're going to start with B.A. Marcus.
Wait, before we hit the timer, I need a little backfill here. Has the teams been picked?
Not completely.
Who's on the
They've picked the captains and they've picked 2 other members each, I believe.
Talk about trying to milk a dead horse.
Yeah,
All right,
well-
ready? And B.A. Marcus Frey.
Well, when you're going to Saudi Arabia and to hold this match, of course you're going to milk that horse for all it's worth because that's what they're getting. They're getting billions of dollars to go over and entertain the billionaires, entertain the people that really truly don't deserve the entertainment. It's absolutely ridiculous. So do I care about this match? Hell no. I don't really care about much about WWE right now, especially after that disappointment of a pay-per-view. There's really not a whole lot that is bringing me in on WWE standpoint. But when you sit here and you do this and you try to entertain the masses over in Saudi Arabia and you give them Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair as captains, I'm sure they're going to be like, that's a slap in the face to us. Why couldn't, Iron Sheik be one of the captains?
Right.
You know, like
he should.
He should have been. It should have been Iron Sheik and Hogan. I think that would have been better. But it's really just one of those things that I really don't give a damn about.
Could you imagine if Iron Sheik versus like John Cena, right, or some shit like that, and then Iron Sheik goes over and makes that jabroni in front of the entire Saudi royal family?
But I do have some Middle Eastern friends, and they're big fans of your old school wrestlers. Believe it or not, they're big fans of the Hogans and Goldbergs and the Ric Flairs. So to them, it's their god. So that's gonna sell. For them.
their god is Allah.
But you know what I'm saying, right?
Okay.
They're gods of wrestling.
Yeah, the gods of wrestling. That's what I mean.
They're Mount Rushmore.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's just it's a damn truth. It's a giant waste of fucking time.
Joke. All right, are you ready?
Yeah, let's go. I like this one. I think it's amazing what both guys have been able to do to keep their names relevant, to keep themselves on TV, making money. They're the 2 greatest workers of all time, hands down. People don't understand what the term worker means. Marks have emotions. You work up Mark's emotions to get money out of them. It's not a pro wrestling exclusive term. It's a term used in all kinds of sales. Every con man thing ever. You work a mark, and Hulk Hogan is the best of that, the greatest of all time. Ric Flair's probably number 2. They did this 8 years ago in TNA, the exact same concept. Hogan picks a team of guys, Flair picks a team of guys, Lethal Lockdown, and 8 years later, they're still making money doing it. They're both geniuses. Ric Flair can make money appear out of thin air. He's like Jesus. He can take that water and make it into wine. He was suing them for the man trademark.
That's right.
They decided to make that go away. Hey, why don't you pick 5 guys and have a match in front of Saudi Arabia?
Because you clearly need the money.
He's the best face of all time is Hulk Hogan. The best heel of all time is Ric Flair. They're able to convince basically anybody who's in charge of a wrestling company to give them millions of dollars and stuff for their name value alone, so on and so forth.
That's an interesting take on it.
Okay, and compare Hulk Hogan is number 1 and Ric Flair is number 2. Let's compare them against Eric Bischoff. Hulk Hogan was able to work Eric Bischoff for millions of dollars, creative control, 25% of every pay-per-view, just unprecedented, ungodly amounts of money and power. Ric Flair had to see a sports psychologist because Eric Bischoff destroyed his mind.
That's a really good point.
Hulk wins.
That's a good point. Actually, Linda Hogan wins because she took half.
Yeah, she took half of his money. But Hulk Hogan got to nail his best friend's wife.
Congratulations.
All right.
He's a genius.
All right, Gustin Uberstude, would you care to weigh in on this? For the final opinion of the night. Go.
Let's not
We want to get hired again.
let's not talk about Toy Story 4.
Wait a minute. Let's not.
Let's
No,
not.
it's not. There you go. There's your microphone.
I
Here
have a
you
little trouble. Well, I wish I knew more about what the teams actually were, because then I could actually give a little more assessment of the match itself, rather than just the names at the head of the match. But to me, I grew up, watching Hogan, and so, I could be one of those marks. You put the Hogan name on it. To me, it's like, oh great, like I want to see Hulk Hogan do stuff, and millions of people do. He's hands down the most recognizable name in professional wrestling, even still today. So if you can bring him in, and you can see every time they go over to Saudi Arabia, they bring in those old school guys. So it makes perfect sense to have a Team Hogan and a Team Flair. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get in the ring fight. They might do it. They might do it a little bit, but they're heading up the cause rather than being the cause, and I think that's great.
And real quick, I know the captains so far. You have Seth Rollins with Hogan, and you have Randy Orton with Ric Flair. So.
Right, and then you have Bobby Lashley with Flair, and you have Rusev with Hogan.
How badly do you think that Vince McMahon would just love to say, hey, we're going to pump you guys full of steroids and human growth hormone. We will fit you for hair pieces or whatnot, and we will put Hulk Hogan against Ric Flair in that ring in Saudi Arabia for $100 million. You know he's thinking it. You know he wants to do it.
But I
don't know what's keeping him from doing it.
The fact that he knows Ric Flair's heart would probably stop.
Yeah, the two guys are not going to physically touch. That was maybe 8 years ago, where it was possible they were going to bump into each other. The time that pointed this out to me really specifically was in TNA. Hulk Hogan had Abyss on his team, and he's talking to this big kid about how like he needs him and Hulkamania, and he was like, yeah, I was a fan of yours when I was a little boy. And he can use that on anybody. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Everybody that grew up watching Hulk Hogan. The Rock grew up watching Hulk Hogan. So The Rock versus Hulk Hogan, hey, I'm probably going to be the face in this one, so let's plan accordingly. And he worked it that way, and he got another run out of it as heavyweight champion at like 50-something years old. Is genius. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or the people are bad for being marks for these two guys. They're the two greatest salespeople that have ever existed in wrestling.
Yeah, well, I mean, and you do have a point, because just what was it, like maybe less than 5 years ago, Hulk Hogan's name was in the dirt. This man, everyone thought that this man would never step into a WWE ring again. But as soon as you hear that, dun, 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 the entire arena stood on their feet for a man who they said just a few years ago said was the worst human being ever and should never step foot in a WWE ring again. So yeah, you are very right. They are two names that sell. What two names other than those from that timeline, from that era, could you think of that would sell more than those two individuals?
But that actually happens quite a bit, where somebody gets ostracized from the WWE, and then years go by, and then somehow again they're a hero. It happened to the Ultimate Warrior, and not through anything.
Well, I was always a Warrior
not through
fan,
anything
though.
like that he did.
I liked his comic book.
That was scandalous, but just because
it was fantastic.
But just because they came out with a documentary and it
Yeah,
made him look really bad.
Well,
but then later he was a hero again.
The rise and fall of the Ultimate Warrior that they put out when he went to WCW because they wanted to shit on him. Then enough time had gone by. It was like, hey, we can make money. He's not such a bad guy after all.
Yeah.
So they had him back on the show and he redeemed himself.
It
or
happens.
whatever.
Well, it's like 10 years from now, we're probably going to see the Rock team versus the Stone Cold team. Same like what we're seeing now with Hogan and McFlair.
I think The Rock thinks he's too good.
I think The Rock is cashed out. I think Steve Austin's cashed out. I think they've made enough money in there. They have enough movies.
Well, yeah, I mean, perfect example of that. Randy Orton came out on Twitter trying to goat The Rock into one more match at WrestleMania, and without saying it, he said it. You can't afford me. That's basically what he said. I mean, he said it in a nice way. He played it up as a, to do it one more time again in a ring with you, so that you could wipe the floor with me like you and your team did when he brought back some old match, where he went up against Evolution, and he's like, where you wiped the floor with me back then, I think I'm good. And he pretty much played it as, I'm not going to let you walk all over me because I'm a movie star now. What am I going to look like looking like shit by having Randy Orton kick my ass in front of 20, 30,000 people?
If the younger guys don't want to get taken advantage of by the older guys, don't. Find a way around it. Get over more than them, do it better than them, and they won't be on the show forever.
Yeah.
But nobody's ever gotten past those two guys. Never will. Sting could never get past either guy.
Well, because he was in the smaller Fed the whole time. But I think that John Cena has done that. I think The Rock is probably just as big as Hulk Hogan is. I think John Cena is too.
Well, and I think that's what that whole feud was it was a testament of Rock coming back and saying, you're the closest guy that's done it. So that's why I'm willing to step in this ring with you again. But he also had to put in a stipulation. It's got to be for something. So what did they do? They made it for the WWE title, because he's not going to just come back for just anything. And he shouldn't, I agree. That's like literally saying, why bring a great, back for absolutely nothing? You don't do that.
We are way over time and way over budget. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us October 26th at the American Legion Post 716 for the 3rd annual Halloween Purging. No rules, nowhere to hide. For B.A. Marcus Frey, for Azrael, for the distinguished guest, Gustin
You may
Uberstu.
say for your Lucha Pro champion, Gustin Uberstu.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. And for Joey the Bull,
Yeah.
I am Jonathan Malice. This is OCCW's Royal Ramble. Wishing you a good night, and may all your bumps be taken in the ring.
Good night, Yoga Star.
Hey! Motherfucker.
Stay in